have flaws, but we're talking about the top. This is the major league. The sons of Yaakov are all tzaddikim, all holy. From these building blocks will the tzibur ha-Yisraeli, the public of Israel, be built. And this is what Hashem wants, that they're going to be built from this. Let's see what happens in the home of Yaakov. Vayeishev Yaakov be'eretz migurei aviv be'eretz Canaan. Do we understand the centrality of this opening pasuk? Like we brought here, as opposed to, may I have that additional page here? Thank you, sir. Okay. Tiskele dapim. Thank you. As you understand, why is the Torah opening up with Vayeshev Yaakov be'eretz migurei aviv? Because as the Rashbam, the grandson of Rashi, explains, it's a complete parallel, an opposite of Esav's decision. Okay? Esav decided not to live in Eretz Canaan as the years went by. He decided to go elsewhere and change his identity to become a different identity. He's not going to be like the Christian world says today, the last 2,000 years. We are the the Jewish people. We're the real. You've heard of this? Oh, you studied history, I see. Right? We're the real thing. We are the Am Skula. We're the treasured nation. Hogwash. Okay? Esav doesn't say that now. Maybe the descendants from Rome and on do say that, but he decides to go elsewhere. He's not going to contest for the land of Canaan, the land of God, and has a different identity. In opposition to that, Yaakov says, I'm going to be living where my Abba lives, which is the city of Ranan. Hebron. Probably the Hebron area. Okay? Not in Shechem. Yitzchak didn't live in Shechem. We didn't see any mention of Yitzchak Avinu in Shechem. We did see, though, that he's going to be living in when his mother passed away, their family was living in Hebron, and so on and so forth. When they came into the land, let's relate to Renan's question. When? After how many years? 14 years in the yeshiva of Shemin Ever, 7 years to marry Rachel, another 7 years to marry Rachel, that's 34. And then 6 years of being Atzma'i, independent. How many years are we up to?
20 plus 14, 34.
34. And then a year and a half in the town called Sukkot. So we're talking about 35 and a half years. He hasn't been present in the land of Israel. He comes into Shechem. Maseh Avot Siman Labanim, we learned. That'll be the first place that his children will come to when we came in, led by Yoshua. It also happens to be the first place that Avraham Avinu arrived to when he came into the land of Israel. He built a mizbech in the town of Elon Moreh. Very good. Elon Moreh, outside Shechem. Okay? So Yaakov Avinu decides to live here and build his identity.
Saying to Joseph, do not take written the photo in Shechem.
Okay, we came into Shechem. From there we moved to Beit El. The name of Yaakov is changed to Yisrael in Beit El. But apparently he's moving on. Beretz Migurei Aviv, I think, is Hebron, the Hebron area. It's not in Shechem. Yes? Okay. What?
35 Kapsain.
No, they say they float in Shechem.
No, that's later on. Later on. 1 second. Arrest this man right here. Don't let him speak this way. How can you ask a question about an event that's about to happen when we're not there yet? There's a little order here, sir. There's a little order. Thank you. Now I understand where you're coming from. Eile Toldot Yaakov. Is that what the Torah is going to come to tell us? The Toldot mean the generations, the children of them? Because the Torah only mentions after Eile Toldot Yaakov, Yosef, and not the rest of the sons. That's one of the major questions the Rashbam asks on his Saba, Grandpa Rashi, and others ask it. Let's keep on reading and see what we're going to understand. Eile Toldot Yaakov, Yosef. Ben 17 shana, haya ro'eh achav batzon, והוא נער את בני וילהה ואת בני זלפה נשי אביו Vayave Yosef et dibatam ra'a el avihem. Uh-oh. We have a lot of questions here. You must stop and understand it, though. We're not going to say that the Toldot of Yaakov mean the literal meaning, the generations of Yaakov Avinu, because only Yosef is mentioned. But what it could mean, and we'll see it in a moment, that the events that will bring about to this magnificent decree of God, way back ago, maybe more than 100 years ago, the covenant of Berit Bein Habitarim, the covenant of the pieces, where the history will envelop in front of Yaakov Avinu. When God says 4 decrees to Avram Avinu, Ger yeh zaracha, your seed will be a stranger. Number 2, be'eretz lo lahem, in a land which is not theirs. Number 3, va'avadum, and they'll be in servitude. Ve'inu otam, and they'll be afflicted. Arba ma'ot shana, for a period of 400 years. We're now about to learn how the events here down on earth are going to happen. These are the Toldot to bring about the fulfillment of God's promise to Avram Avinu in the famous Berit Bein HaBetarim chapter. Was it 17? Look it up and tell me later, or tell me now. But look it up now and tell me later. Or look it up later and tell me now. There's all the possibilities you have in front of you in any event. My dear... Yes? Breshit Yud Zayin. So therefore, the answer to the question, what is Toledot? Thank you. The events that will bring about the fulfillment of how the descendants of Yaakov will go down to a land. 15? Chapter 15. Thank you for the correction. How the children of Yaakov will go down to a land which is not theirs, and the wheels will begin to roll in the fulfillment of that decree. These are the events that we're going to be learning right now. They're going to happen. We're not just going to sit there twiddling our thumbs. We're going to see how a family grows, how there are differences, there are rifts. There could even be a conflict as we're learning here. Okay. The main Toledah of Yaakov Avinu happens to be Yosef. Wow. Why is he going to be the most special Toledah? We're going to see in a moment. When he was 17 years old, you know what he did? He was the main worker for all he and his brothers. Haya ro'eh et echav batzon, meaning at work, he was with his brothers with the tzon. What does it mean, echav? Because later in the section it says, the children of Bilhah and Zilpah. So what does it mean that he was a shepherd with his brothers? We're talking here about Bnei Leah. He would be with work with them, as the Rashbam and Rav Shimshon Furler says afterwards, with the brothers, meaning Bnei Leah. That's where you be with them. Otherwise, quote unquote, hanging out. Where does he hang out with? Vihu Na'ar, as a youngster, Et Bnei Vilha, V'et Bnei Zilpah Neshei Aviv. Who does he hang out with? The brothers of Bil, the brother, I mean the children from Bilhah and Zilpah, the children of the Shvachot, the maidservants. Why is he hanging out with them?
They are the same age. No, he acting like a young. No, you can't talk nicely with the brothers, the other brother.
He can sense supremacy. With which set of brothers?
Yeah.
No. He will not sell. He's not going to sense supremacy over Reuven, Shimon, and Levi. These are the first. He can sense supremacy with which brothers? They're the brothers that are the children of the maidservants. They're as if, not second degree or second class, but they're not on the level apparently as Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Yisachar, and Zevulun. That's where he senses supremacy. So at work, he's with with his echav, with Bnei Leah. But where is he hanging out? Where does he sense supremacy? With those that feel maybe they are on a lower level. And it doesn't say echav. You notice? It doesn't say that when he's young, he's with his brothers of Bilhah. It says he's with the Bnei Bilhah. They sent vis-a-vis Yosef that they are second. And Yosef is higher. That's why it says he's nar et Bnei Bilhah. It doesn't say the brothers from the mothers Bilhah and Zilpah. So we have someone who's very special, Yosef. Of course, from the mother of, who's the primary wife of Yaakov Avinu. And he most resembles, as we're about to see in a moment, his father Yaakov. How do we see it? I'm skipping to Pasuk Gimel. V'Yisrael ahav et Yosef mikol banav. Uh-oh. Why does he have special love for Yosef? And it says a reason. Kiven zikunim ulo. Do you see the words? Kiven zikunim ulo. Now you know and I know that who is the last child? Binyamin. Binyamin is the last. Literally, people often call the last child, growing up with the older father, this term, Ben Zikunim. I can't hear, what did you say? Ben Zikunim. But the truth of the matter is, everyone's asking, is Yosef the Ben Zikunim? Doesn't he have a younger brother? He should be the one? The Targum of Onkelos. You know Uncle Louis? I mean Onkelos, you know him?
Yes.
Okay. Onkelos, the ger from Romi, says, Ben Zikunim means the most wise, the most brilliant. Bar Hakim. If you have Onkelos on your page, you can see it. You have, Stephen, I think you have Onkelos. You also have Onkelos, am I right? Right? You can see he says Bar Hakim. He's Ben Chacham. He's very wise. In other words, Yosef is carrying on the traits, attributes, wisdom of his father Yaakov, and therefore here he's called Ben Zikunim, meaning the wisest, and therefore Yosef is given to order a special garment called ketonet with pasim. What are pasim?
Colors.
Not colors, but stripes. Now let's go back to Mr. Yosef. Yosef senses supremacy. He senses this more so by the children of the Shvachot and not by the children of Leah. He's only 17 years old. He's already sensing leadership. That's not right what you're doing. Abba, did you see what I saw? And Abba didn't know. And he brings what type of report? Vayave Yosef et dibatem ru'ah el avihem. About who is he bringing? Havaat diba. About who?
Bnei Leah.
No, he doesn't have a chance. He doesn't have a chance. It would have to be the Bnei Bilhah and Zilpah, as Ramban and Chizkuni says. Gentlemen, look at the term. Havaat diba. The word diba is a bad report. That's clear. Everyone agrees. The word diba, it's a bad report. But my question to you is it a lie? Is he exaggerating? Notice the verb lehavi diba. We'll meet up with a similar but different term in Book of Vayikra, hotzaat diba. Lehotzi diba is what? To lie. It's like motzi shem ra. Do you remember when we studied the laws of Lashon Hara? There could be, you're telling the truth, it could be Lashon Hara, but hotzaat shem ra, motzi shem ra is lying, misrepresenting the situation. Yosef HaTzadik is not misrepresenting nor lying. He is bringing the truth, a bad truth, meaning about their bad conduct or behavior. Why is he bringing it to the Abba? Why? You know those kids used to play with? They used to tattletale about you. Then you stop. Oh, you remember? Okay. You want to sit? You want to talk about it over a cup of coffee? We can, discuss these matters. I'm not qualified. In any event, why is he bringing it to Abba?
To show that he's superior.
To show he's superior?
I don't do that, give me the bracha and I'll be the next...
That could be.
Wants to gain more favor.
Want to gain more favor? Both of you are giving personal reasons.
All too short to his father. I'm the only one who's bringing to you the food.
It could be.
Maybe
Something's really bothering him. No one's answering that. What's bothering him? The conduct of his brother. That it's not proper. And it should be corrected. Who's in a position to correct or rectify their behavior?
The father, Abraham.
Yosef is doing it l'shem shamayim. Whether it is diplomatic, whether it is the right time to do it, he's one of the youngsters, Yosef, right? He was born next to last, was he not?
Yes.
Yes? The others are older than by a few years. That's another question. But he is interested in the truth. Yosef is interested in the truth. He, ichpatlo, have you heard of that word? He cares. He's not looking, oh no, you're gonna, nah, and he's not looking to do that. He's interested in the truth. He's not now, I don't think that he's looking for favor, fame, oh look at me, I'm a tzaddik and they are not, no. But right now, he brings diba on the children of the shfachot, the maidservants, that they did not act with him in a worthy way. That's how the Netziv of Volozhin explains. Okay, let's go on. Pasuk Gimel, v'Yisrael ahavet Yosef mikol banav, kiven zkunim ulo, v'asa lo ketonet basim. V'Yisrael ahav, and your question might be,
Why doesn't say Yaakov?
it shouldn't say Yaakov?
Changing the name.
Why is there a change in name? Excellent question. We can assume, from what we learned last week, the two names which will continue to accompany this entity called Yaakov, and later the nation coming out of him, there are two different levels. Yaakov, from the word Akev, the heel, is a lower level of existence, whereas Yisrael, Sar El. Sar, what is a Sar? A what? A minister. Something authoritative, something higher. Yisrael is the higher name. Yisrael is watching the situation of Yosef and his brothers growing up. And out of Yisrael, he sees deep inside to who Yosef is, and he has a special love for the one that most resembles him, not as far as freckles or hair color or wearing a sweatshirt like his father wear. No, the midot, the attributes. But look at this. Look at me. Yisrael loves Yosef mikol banav. Listen to my question, Thomas. Does he love all his sons?
Yes.
It purposely says that he loves all of his sons, but he has a special love for Yosef. I'm not going to get into educational parental matters. There are commentators that say that's a mistake, showing preferential love, but he loves all his kids. It doesn't say V'Yisrael lahavet Yosef vis-a-vis the brothers, but rather he loves all of them. Kiven zkunim ulo. Like we said in the name of Onkelos, Skunim means here what? The wisest, the most brilliant, the most similar to the father. And for that he makes him a special garment, showing that he's maybe special for leadership perhaps in the future. It's worthy to give him because of his wisdom. You may want to don, gift a special child that's doing special behavior. Okay? In the teva, in the nature, in the features of Yosef, he's very similar to Yaakov. He gives him this special. Now, let's go to a course in communication and understanding communication. Let's see how the brothers interpret, understand this correlation, this relationship between Abba and Yosef. Vayiru echav, gentlemen, the Torah purposely writes Vayiru, meaning this is what they saw subjectively in their hearts. Vayiru echav, ki oto ahavaviyeh mikol echav. What noun do the brothers interpret the love of the father that they are loved as well? It says that he, Yosef, is loved by the father, Mikol Echav. In other words, they evaluated in their eyes that they are not considered loved at all. Why? It doesn't say, Oto havavihem mikol banav. Rather, mikol echav. So they're evaluating the situation that they, in the eyes of Yaakov, are on a lower level. They're not considered like Yosef. Is this correct or a mistake in their understanding? It's an obvious mistake. Subjectively, they feel that they're not loved. They're not one of the banim. But Yosef is loved more, mikol echav. Now, the reaction. And that's what we need, Torah Shebaal Peh. When you just read a Bible here or there, you don't understand what's going on. Remember, we are handicapped. We are limited in our... A test, just to prove to you. Ranan, it says in Vayikra 23, Pasukot Teshvu Shivat Yamim. What's the likely Portuguese translation of the word Basukot? A what?
Tenda.
Tent? Tena? Which means? A tent. I think in English they translate the word Sukkot as a shack. I see the word booth mentioned as well. You shall dwell in a booth, shack, tenta, whatever you want to call it, 7 days. Is it clear to you? What is a sukkah? It's not clear. What is it made out of? What is it made out of? What are the dimensions? Yes or no? It says in Devarim chapter 6, Ukshaltam liot al yadecha, and you shall tie a sign on your hand. Vayu letotafot bein einecha. What is a sign? What does it mean between your eyes? Over here? How do you tie it? These are just few of many, many examples that without Torah Shebaal Peh, we don't understand anything. Without the oral Torah, without Chazal, our sages, and then the great medieval commentators and so on and so forth, we don't know anything here. Here it says, the reaction of the brothers, that their misinterpretation of Abba to them, Vayisneu oto. Really? The teacher in this shiur 20 minutes ago said, regarding Shushan's reading of the blessings of Shema, about the Malachim, Kulam ahuvim, Kulam berurim, Kulam kedoshim. And that's so too about these boys. Could it be that they're so holy and so righteous, they hate? It says, Vayisnu oto. So today, in our generation, we often interpret the word sinah as the word hatred. But who says, during that time, the time of the Bible, that the interpretation of the word sinah really means hatred? You see the gentleman here with the gingy beard? He learned Chumash Devarim. I learned it with him last year. And he talked about the laws of inheritance. Kitiyana li'ishtei nashim, achat ahuva v'achat asnua, regarding Bechor. A man has two wives, one is loved and one it says snua. You know what question he asked? He says, give me a break, Rabbi. How can it be? How can a man marry someone and hate her? So why did he marry her, he asked me. And I said, you asked a very good question. He was hoping I was going to say the $10,000 question, but I want to give him that much money. In any event, what was the interpretation there of the Torah in snua? There you go. What a Talmud, I'm telling you. He knows it so well. Okay? Sin'ah is just another word that he loves less. In addition, our great mentor, Rabbi Tziyuda Cohen Cook, would explain in his Sichot on the Parshat Shavua that they had taromet, they had a complaint, they had a grudge. That's how we explain the word sinah here. But chas v'chalila, God forbid to explain and use the term that they really what? They didn't hate her. Excellent times. They didn't hate her. They had a grudge against him. They had a complaint against him. Okay? Why should it be you? I'm sorry. Why should it be you and not me? Why are you getting this lovely ketonet and I'm not getting this lovely ketonet? That's how we're explaining Vayisneu oto. Yes, Shusha.
Why would they want to kill him? Send him to slavery?
No, Savla, no. Don't be like Renan asked me a question from another parak in front of me. We'll get to there. Izrat? Hashem, thank you for your confidence. Velo yachlu dabro l'shalom. I asked you in question number. Which question is it? Velo yachlu dabro l'shalom. Yes. In verse 4, what positive attribute is the Torah teaching us about the tribes? It says, Velo yachlu dabro l'shalom. They couldn't speak what?
Peacefully with him.
What positive attribute are we learning here?
That they were like straightforward. There was not double tongue.
Double talk, right?
Yeah,
double.
double
Is that the expression?
You say you're tachlis or not?
I know tachlis, but what midah are we talking about? You're right that they're upfront. What other word? Emet. Rashi says in the name of our sages, it's a Bereshit Rabbah. Do you see it in Pasuk Dalet down below? You see the Rashi? Mitoch kenutam lamadnu shivcham. Out of the shame of them, we're learning their praise. Shawat. Shelo dibru achat bepeh ve'achad balev. Wow. They're not putting on a facade. What is it called? I don't know what the word is. A mask. A masquerade. Okay. They're not putting on a show that they're saying one thing. They're not fake. Thank you very much. They are telling it like it is. When they speak about Yosef, they have a grudge. They have a complaint. It's not fair. Wow. So far we understand a lot of special insight about the complexity of this family that'll be building Hatziburiyut Yisraelit. Actually, I should add a hey to it. Please add a hey to Yisraelit. Hey in front of the, no, in front, yeah, in front of the, thank you. Okay. How much do you charge for a letter?
FS.
Wow. Thank you for your nidivut lev, your generosity. Gentlemen, to build the future public of Israel is not a simple thing. When you have 12 giants, 12 scholars, 12 superstars and attributes, and one is showing supremacy, and the Abba gives him a what? A ketonet pasem. They have a grudge. And right now they don't see the future, what's coming out of this. Let's go on, if there are no questions until now. Pasukei vaya chalom Yosef, chalom. He's sleeping. And in his dream, he has a dream. Vayaged le'achav, he shares it. He loves his brothers. Vayusifu od tzinoto. To whom does he tell this dream? And not the Abba. And they add more grudge. Let's find out why there's a further grudge. Vayomer aleim, he tells them, apparently the next day, Pasuk Vav. Follow the reading, please. Shimuna. On the one hand, he gives the imperative, but he asks politely to his brothers, please, listen. Hachalom hazeh shechalamti. No, he's not talking to instigate, to begin problems. And now let's read the matter. V'hinei. Wow. He starts with the word v'hinei, which all of you probably know means surprise. Something I didn't even think about. Behold, as they kind of say in Shakespearean English. Okay, and v'hinei. Anachnu for you urban people, but don't understand what we're about to say now. Anachnu me'alemim alumim betoch hasadah. We're gathering sheaves. What are alumim? All these urban people never probably saw the color. You probably never saw the color green until you came to Israel. What are sheaves?
Yeah, like the bundles.
They're bundles of wheat, corn, whatever, and they're tied up. They're alumim. So we're now putting together sheaves, betoch hasadeh, in the field. This is an economic, agricultural dream. V'hinei, suddenly, kam alumati, my sheaf, my bundle, kama. What did it do? Lakum. Lakum achshav b'vakasha. לשבת בבקשה. Want to play Rabbi Akiva says? So we'll do it after a 7th inning stretch afterwards. We'll play Rabbi Akiva says. Okay, only when David Adler hits the red button. Okay? My aluma gets up. V'gam nitzava, stands erect. V'inei, behold, another surprise. Wow, the third time inside the pasuk, isn't it? Tisu ben alumotechem. Yours are like crouching down. V'tishtachavena, and they're bowing down l'lumati. Gentlemen, what significance does this dream have? Obviously, it's talking about something in the future that there's going to be maybe a Rav. The Ramban says a famine in the future. And because of this Rav, who's going to go down to Mitzrayim? Even before Yosef, his brothers will come down during the famine looking to purchase and buy food. And to whom will they bow down? Knowingly or not knowingly? Not knowingly. Wow. That's number one. A further thing, this could be a designation for the Jewish people in the future, that we will be an economically based nation based on agriculture, as we were in Bayit Rishon and the Second Temple, Second Commonwealth as well. Okay? So here we see maybe a designation about the Jewish people in the future. We're going to be farmers, tilling the Holy Land. When the brothers hear, frankly, this chalom, their reaction, pasuk chet, vayomru lo echav. Echav. They're sensing they're brothers. We should be really together. Hamaloch timloch aleinu, letter hey of the word hamaloch is what letter? What does it play? That letter hey in front of the word hamaloch? That's the famous question hey. No, here it's a question hey. Hamaloch timloch aleinu. Are you gonna be ruling over, being a king over us? Im mashol timshol banu. Are you gonna be ruling over us? Would you ask a question about these two terms?
What's the difference? Why do we?
Aleph, what's the difference? Bet, is it redundant? Very good. Look at, you don't have the Ibn Ezra. Ibn Ezra, which I have in front of me, Rabbi Abraham Ibn Ezra from Spain, he says, are we going to appoint you king? Or will you rule over us? Bechoska, by forcefully, very good. That's what explains that the terms are not redundant or repetitive. Hamaloch is, shall we appoint you willingly, or shall you rule over us, against us? That's how Ibn Ezra explains the two terms. We welcome Yisrael ben Avram from Tzfat. There's a lot of Kiddush on him. Don't touch him. Be careful. Thank you. Welcome back. You'll tell us about your experiences later, not now. Okay. In any event, the reaction of the brothers to the first dream, Vayosifu od sino oto. They're adding more. What word shall we use in English that we learned before in the name of Rav Tzuyuda? They added more? Grudge.
I don't like.
It's not hatred.
But maybe now, yes. Because they don't like.
It says they're adding what they had more. What did they have before? A grudge, complaints. They have even more complaints against him. Alma, al chalamotav, vi'al divarav. What's the difference there between chalamotav vi'al divarav? Dvarav will be their understanding. Some midrashim explain of his, of their interpretation of his words. Not only the dreams, but the interpretation of the brothers from their saying what he's saying. Now, come on, Yosef. Let me ask you a question. Don't you know that they have a grudge against you? Don't you know to be a bissel stiller, be a little quiet here? Come on. Yosef lacks tact. He never went to school, played with friends in the court, knows when to be quiet, when to speak. Does anyone have an answer to this question? Why he is? What's stated in the Mishnah in Pirkei Avot? Siyag lechochma, offense for wisdom is shtika. Very good. 3 words. I want you to repeat it after me. Siyag lechochma shtika. 1, 2, 3. Siyag lechochma shtika. What does shtika mean?
Silent.
Siyag is like a fence. A way to get to chokhmah, wisdom, is shtika, being quiet. What's the matter? You want to tell me that Yosef didn't learn that Mishnah in Pirkei Avot?
No.
I would assume he knows it. He lives it. So why is he speaking? Who has an answer to that question? Not you yet. Someone else? Aaron, we haven't heard you.
It's also very honest.
Honesty. Very
Because
nice.
he cannot hold back his thoughts.
Okay. Any other answer? Any other answer?
So one is learn from his father how to act in life. Retired mitzvah shamarti, also how to act in his life.
So why is he speaking? Because he learned that's the way he learned from his father. This way. Any other answer, David?
Or maybe he thinks it's a really good dream also for them. Like
It's good for them.
yeah.
Michal Arya, after giving others a chance?
Yeah, I think because when he says this, his brother got to coach, but because they had coach, it fastens the process of fulfilling this prophecy, like selling him to
Okay.
Mitzrayim.
Did you hear the word he just said?
Prophecy.
Why did you use the word prophecy and not dream?
Because it's something. Because
It's a vision.
it's a vision from Hashem.
Ah, so very nice. I was looking perhaps for that answer, enjoying also your other answers. Chalom. Does it equal nevuah? Question mark. Chalom. Does a dream, is it equal to prophecy?
They say it's 64.
1/60th, right? Look, when we're talking about you and me, we have dreams about other things. But Yosef HaTzadik, his dreams are, woo! It's like a vision, like you said. It's part of prophecy. So what? If it is part of prophecy, so what?
You have to express it, otherwise
Otherwise, what?
it's a chol. If you say it after
prophet
the
cannot
event, you have
withhold
to.
this.
It's not chol. However, there's a prohibition.
To withhold, the prophet cannot withhold.
Very nice. In the laws of prophecy, the Talmud says, based on psukim, the Rambam brings it, hakovesh et nivuoto. Someone that captures, that stifles himself, does not allow himself to be expressed of a chalom as a prophecy, is violating a violation. Yosef says, I must share it with my brothers, because this dream comes from Hashem. Very good, Steve. This dream comes from Hashem. Very good. Pasuk Tet. We have more time. Vayachalom od chalom acher. An additional chalom. Vayisaper oto le'achav. He tells it to his brothers. Vayomer, and he says, Hine, wow, he likes using this word. This I never thought of, surprise. Chalamti chalomod. V'hine, again a second time. What does he dream about? Hashemesh vayarech. The sun and the moon. Ve'achadasar kochavim mishtachavim li. Uh-oh. Wow. Who do you think the sun and the moon represent? Abba and Ima. And why achadasar kochavim and not shnemasar kochavim? He is the star. And he has little stars bowing down to him. And here it says, Vayisaper el aviv, v'elachav. Excuse me? Is there something new to whom he tells that we didn't see in the previous dream?
Yes.
Who? His father. And your question might be, why? I'm not going on before to read further. The question raised here, why now, in the second dream, does Yosef share the dream with his Abba, which he didn't do in the first time? Good question. You have your answer, Thomas?
Because he identified the Shemesh as the father.
Because what?
He identified the Shemesh as the father, and before the other sheaves were only his brother.
Uh-huh.
The question is, what about the Yarech? Because his mother is already
Right.
dead, so
Very nice.
There are still three mothers.
Someone else is taking care of him. So a second. You're saying something, you're asking a question, and now you're getting an answer. So very good. It could be that it's evident or clear to Yosef, unlike the first dream, who this represents. And you have questions. And what did you want to add, Chaim?
It's about his mother, but it's a dream. And I read about a commentary from Rabbi, and that's exactly about it, with his mother, but it's a dream. So it's also a prophecy, but it's a dream.
It's a prophecy, but it's a dream.
Yes.
But his mother is not alive.
Yeah, no problem.
So how will be the areach, how will it be represented?
Dream is a dream, so it's a prophecy, but it's not exactly the reality.
It's not exactly reality. Okay, or that could be one answer. And what's another answer that you gave, Aaron? Or was it Shushan? You gave an answer. What could be the answer? Who? You said there are other. You said there are three mothers. I see. So it could be that who is taking care, or who took care of. Well, actually, what could be the difference in time from the birth of Yosef? It has to be at least 6 years. Another year and a half is 7.5 years. There's like 8 or 9 year difference, I think, between Yosef and Binyamin. Maybe it still requires a mother taking care. So maybe it could have been one of the two shvachot, or Leah taking care of it. Maybe. Very nice.
Would it more likely that it's Bilha than
More likely what?
the Bilha, the matron of
The Bilha. Because it would be the shivcha. Very nice answer. Okay. B'ezrat Hashem, I'm in tremendous suspense what's going to happen at this event. And we're going to prepare the shur for tomorrow. And we'll see you tomorrow, God willing. Have a great